Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends. And yes, the only way is up. I thought that speech at the start of the last show was absolutely epic. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hey, the pitfalls of having a young family. When you have a young son who is into everything, this occasionally gets pulled out and then not put back in correctly. So there we go. Anyway, before we start today's show, I wanted to say something very quickly, and it is quickly, and welcoming to all of you. I'm glad you could make it. Over the last 24 hours, there's been lots of misinformation, lots of lies, lots of toxic stuff on toxic forums, social media, etc. I wanted to say this categorically and clearly. I stand with all of my contributors, and I stand behind my contributors, providing they do not cross a line, and those lines are quite clearly defined by society. I stand with them and I stand behind them, and I always will. And if they're brave enough to come on this show and be a contributor, then that's the least they deserve from me. Another thing I wanted to quickly mention, me asking for donations from Ko-Fi seems to upset a lot of people, or not a lot of people, a certain section of people, shall we say. I am a disabled guy and my income is limited, as I'm sure some people watching this have limited incomes as well. This thing to run costs me triple figures a month. If I ask for donations, I'm asking my family, I'm asking my community just to help. If that upsets you, maybe this is not the community for you. I don't know. But if it upsets you, get a mirror and look into it. On that note, there is my Ko-Fi links. If you'd like to support today's show, you can, of course, do so. Now, let's crack on with getting 3 points and more beers, because, Stuart, yes, you are right. I've already been on the beers. With me this evening, or this afternoon, rather, is two wonderful people. First of all, we can't have a show without a little bit of a gangster element. This is Talking Town, of course. So here he is.
But we got the job done. We got the job
Absolutely.
done. We're top the league. I was saying earlier that all the other teams need to win.
Classic,
They
Rob.
did. They still did.
They still did. But we play a Portsmouth side who have gone on a seemingly bizarre run like ourselves and plummeted. They've then now removed their manager, Kenny Jackett. They've taken their jacket off. And I've been working on that. Man's not hot. And they are now under new ownership, new management. Kally's coming in. What do you think of that?
Not really surprising, is it? I felt like every club that was in the market was either in for Cook or Cowley's. I think, was there any other managers available?
Adkins. That was a wild card.
Okay, man. One of the three. There was a 33.9 whatever it is % chance of any of us taking any of them, wasn't there?
That was like Chelsea Cheltenham week this week. That was a 12-1 on the outside row. It came out of nowhere. It came out. Tiger Roll's a class horse. You can't even be discussing Tiger Roll as a surprise. But yeah, leave the jokes to professionals. Yeah, comedians never something I've ever been.
Mine, I wanted to quickly say, in the light of this week, is it possible that the real Martin Lambert could please stand up?
Yes, I know. I have a fake.
A wise man once asked such a question, didn't he?
I know. Somebody's actually created a fake Facebook profile of me. I mean, they could have used better pictures first. No,
come on. To be fair, if I was to create a Facebook profile, a fake one of you, that is the picture I would use. I mean, that is the picture in it. Come on, 2008 Martin Lambert, you've got to go in.
All right, look, we have to get a royal.
It's a great picture of you.
We've got the Paulie Walnuts of the Talking Town family sitting right here, looking at me. We need, of course, the royal seal of approval.
Man, I'm gully and techie. You want me, then check me. Just butt me, I'm ready. I need that money in heavy. I'm banging these raps like Pumpy with Shelly. Shell it, bad it, I'm dipping. I said that I'd leave, but I'm back in the kitchen. She pour it, back it, I'm sipping. Feeling away, but she tackling feelings. Man, I'm gully and techie. You want me, then check me. Butt me, I'm ready. I need that money in heavy. Banging these raps like Pumpy with Shelly. Shell it, bad it, I'm dipping. Said that I'd leave, but I'm back in the kitchen. She She pour it, back it, I'm sipping. Feeling away, but she tackling feelings. I hit it in scurrying, gassed it. She calls it childish, I call it tactics. White doors on a coupe, but I wrapped it. Got a next one, remapped it, rapid.
Sire, welcome in.
Afternoon, chaps. How we doing?
Well, I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you, Kally?
Yeah, it's all good. All good. Got the wrong link this morning, but we're all good.
No, you did.
Yeah.
No, you got the right link.
Right.
I was giving my speech from the heart, but my son had pulled the microphone out, so I was speaking from the heart to absolutely nobody. There's a metaphor in there somewhere. There's a metaphor in there somewhere. Keon, Kally's team is absolutely ridiculously epic.
It is a banger, isn't it?
Can we have just a moment's reflection for Lee Anderson, who's having an awful day? First of all, he says custard creams are better than bourbons. Wrong. And then he says no blinded beer in Aldi, and the wife forgot the KFC crisp. Like that, they always say bad things come in threes. Lee, hopefully for you, those are the three things that because you don't want anything else happening. But it's a bad day for you, Lee. It's a bad day. Leighton Durrant, nice to see Pompey can afford to use more than one camera angle for the game. Looking forward to this. Oh, cool. That's a point. We do have iFollow codes. First of all, 2 courtesy of Matt Stannard. Thank you very much, sir. You are the GOAT. And 1 courtesy of Matt Phillips, who's put his hand in his pocket. That is a rare occurrence. So, the first 3 people to get this question right, so 3 people will win today's iFollow code. So, guys, girls, get your fingers on the keyboards and get thinking now.
Hi everyone, it's that time again. It's another iFollow giveaway here on the Matchday Ticket. So to be with a chance of winning a pass for Pompey versus Town this afternoon at Fratton Park, just answer this question. What is my connection to the CEO of Pompey, Mark Catlin? Is it A, he's my old boss and let me use his villa in Valencia for my 30th birthday? Is it B, he was a regular in our village pub when I was a barman and got me a drink every Saturday without fail? Or is it C, I worked at the Portsmouth News and interviewed Mark regularly? A, B, or C? Good luck.
Can you imagine him as a barman? You wouldn't go there. You wouldn't go there very often, would you?
He'd be serving that cranberry juice all night long, wouldn't he? Come on.
I wouldn't
He
trust
wouldn't
him
go.
to pour me a Guinness.
I wouldn't. No, not at all. Right, we've got some answers flooding in. They've come in very quickly. We've got 1, 2, right. So you've got Carl Brooks, Harrison Smith, and Gary Whittam. You are correct. It is A. He used to work for him and he let him use his villa for the 30th birthday party. Correct, Amondo. Please go to Cruncher. I'm sure you know who he is, Mr. Famous, and let him know you've won. Show him you have subscribed to the channel and he will give you access to today's 3 points. Right, guys, the team. Yes, Rob, 3 points are incoming. I'm that confident.
It's less than a subtle, but fair play.
Oh, you know me. I'm as sut as a brick. Always have been. The team today is as follows: Holy, Chambers, Enciala, Wilson, Ward, Bennett, Bishop, Dazelle, Edwards, Judge, and Norwood. So we'll start with the 11. What jumps out to you first of all? For me, I'll kick it off, Rob. The combined days of the fullbacks is about 902. Pace of -4. So what do you think?
Do you know what I thought? If you listen to what Cook said, he said a few times that basically our consistency is our inconsistency. And I think what he's going to find this season, he's also said he's not going to chop and change. But I actually think he will, because he knows that all of those players won't deliver for more than a game in a row. You don't know what you're going to get with the majority of them. I mean, to be honest, look at that team. Who's the most consistent players in there? I really hasten to say it, but Enciala and Wilson might be the most consistent players we actually have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a state, isn't it? Particularly Enciala. But the rest of them, you can't guarantee that any of them are going to be decent, which means he's going to chop and change weekly until he gets a formula, which I don't think you'll find this season, by the way, because none of them are really consistent. They haven't ever proven they're going to be. So, yeah, I think the fullbacks are in. But really, he's biding time until KVY is fit enough to play. Kenlock has played a lot of games. Probably has had one poor one on Tuesday, so I'm not surprised by that. He's always said he wants attacking fullbacks, doesn't he? Which means really he's biding his time until he has 2 attacking fullbacks fit and raring to go.
You've got Matheson there still. Like,
I don't know. The thing is, the lone players really aren't featuring much, are they? I think Harrop's only featured bit part, really. Parrott obviously is a favourite. I know he's not playing today, but he's played every minute, I think, or every game at least. Matheson's well out of the picture, isn't he? Thomas even further out of the picture than he is. So And then you've got other players of our own, Emir Hughes. I think there's a few players there that may never kick a ball this season, honestly.
No.
I don't know what you think, but I think there's certainly a
Kally?
few players there you won't see at all.
Yeah, no. The left back's a bit of a shocker. Like you said, well, like Rob said, okay, Kenlock, yeah, he had a bit of a shocker, and he probably, let's be fair, probably was if not maybe one of the worst players for us on Tuesday. But if what's he played 6 games in a row or whatever, so or maybe more than that. Before that, he's been, even when the rest of the team haven't been at par, he's been our best player or up there anyway. So this was his first bad game. And then what Cook said before is about, he doesn't want to chop and change team. He has faith in the players. And as Rob's saying there about he wants attacking fullbacks, where the hell do you see that with these two?
Well, the whole
If
back
this was
four.
London-
It's like
Well,
an
this is
asthmatic
it.
snow. Suddenly, the asthmatic snow we were called seems lightning quick with that back four.
And
But you're not going to get
I-
anything but a static, are you? Really? I mean,
No.
is it almost tradition? Is it almost 90s football, Rob, where we're going to have a back four that stays at the halfway line, don't move, and the rest of you just go and attack Pompey with pace and vigour? Because Bennett's and Edwards, I mean, Bennett's, yes, okay, he likes to fall over the occasional mound of grass on the pitch, but he's still a decently fast player. So there's pace in the lineup, just not from the back four.
I think, I was one of the lucky, quote, people that went to the home game because
Happy
it was
clever.
obviously through the ballot, wasn't it? So I was there, and then obviously we played them in the cup as well, didn't we? Both times we were 2-0 down before half time at home. Thanks for that. You're still paying for your ticket as well, FYI. Are you still paying for your ticket, mine?
Move it on, Rob. Move it on.
Yeah, I thought it was much. Funny that, isn't it? By the way, your ticket's about double my price, but let's not go into that.
Double the view as well.
Yeah, I know, but you're not paying much for it at the moment, are you? You're paying more money than I am. Anyway,
All right.
let's move
We
on.
digress. We
Yeah,
digress.
I'm just saying it was some
I
popcorn.
just thought both times in the league, that game in December, and then in the cup, we were 2-0 down. I think we couldn't handle their pace and the way they got down the side was both times, I thought. That concerns me again because, as you said, we've got a slow back line. I think that back line is not going to go over the halfway line, as you said. I think they're going to sit deep because if we push up, we'll get done over the top by their pace a lot of times, I fear.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I would say all the rest of the midfield is going to go and attack because look at that midfield. None of them can tackle, not one of them. Norwood's probably the best tackler in that midfield.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Dazelle,
I mean-
Dazelle, I do really like Dazelle. I've always liked Dazelle.
He's not someone to break a play though, is he?
He's like Paul Scholes, mate. He's late to every tackle. Isn't he? He's pulling shirts back. He's tackling late. He's booking. He's never made a good tackle. He's a great
Did you just
footballer.
try and compare Andre Dazelle to Paul Ginger Perlo Scholes?
Mate, the tackling of Paul Scholes was atrocious. Anyone that knows football knows that. He's still arriving for some tackles now. He retired 10 years ago.
I know at the start of the show I said I stand behind all of my contributors. That's a fucking stupid view. That is incredible.
That's your choice.
Yeah, but-
That's your choice.
Get-
That's
no,
why
I'll
they call you the Guv. You've got difficult decisions to make. No, but I just think that his off the ball, he's a lot of shirt balls, a lot of pettiness actually, and he's always got bookings in him, hasn't he? But he's a great player on the ball. I've always got time for him on the ball, but we've got no players that are going to track back and make a tackle. Actually, I would say the only player that does that is Scoose, and he's so far off the pace you can't even. It's better off playing with nobody in there doing that than playing with him in there.
Yeah. Kally, a week after we said, or some people, I think yourself included, if I'm right in remembering, that Bishop and Dazelle couldn't be a two. Here they are being a two on the road. Are you worried?
Yeah. Especially, if we look at that team, let's just break it down. So obviously we've gone through the back four there anyway. The thing that worries me there is on Chambers' side, he works well with Edwards in front of him, I think. But Edwards let him down at the Fleetwood game. I don't know if they swapped the wings or that's just our interpretation of it. But Bennett ain't going to track back like Edwards can. So I think our right back's going to be our weakest position anyway. But yeah, just Bish and Dodds, I don't see a decent tackle coming in anywhere.
No.
The only thing about that whole 11 that actually looks good is that seeing Judge in his number 10. And Judge in his number 10, if Norwood can make a few runs or whatever, and maybe we can unlock something great. But it's a really
between them and there.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bennett,
though, isn't it? It's a great opportunity for these players. Bennett's particular, Bishop. it's a great opportunity to sort of wrestle a position and keep it and go into this real crunch part of the season as a number one winger. And football's what have you done for me lately? So if Bennett can really sort of suddenly find some form, he could find a club fairly easy in the summer. You know, like he's got this is a key window for him.
But with all due respect, this is I don't, you know, Keenan Bennett seems like a nice guy, but I don't really care. This is about Ipswich Town. So, you know, whether Keenan Bennett has a decent club next season doesn't really bother me. So it's kind of like what's Cook doing here with his loan. So you like Rob was saying, Danny Rowe 2.0 is off the pace. He's not about. Matheson's not about. You got McGuinness on the bench. So it's like, are you playing the loanies? Are you not? But then I guess we haven't got any wingers anyway. So maybe you're forced to throw Bennett's in there. I mean, I'm surprised to see Dobra there. That's interesting. You know, wasn't expecting to see Dobra in a matchday squad. Now, if he comes on, it'll be interesting to see what Cook thinks of him in terms of is he a wide player or more a central attacking player. Certainly, a lot of us feel like he's as good as a number 10. That'll be interesting. And you know, maybe we might see even KVY come off the bench. Who knows?
Robert Burnett from Down Under is worried lineup got to play well or we're fucked with a capital F. There's lots of people worried about this lineup. Almost, worried. I think is a good word.
It's thrown Ward in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like,
there was someone in the comments. Sorry, there was someone in the comments there that was saying they didn't see Portsmouth with much pace the other night. The problem is that they don't actually need much pace, do they?
No.
They just need a decent level of pace. And let's be honest, Harness, Curtis, I'm pretty sure both are playing. I mean, they're quick players. Maybe they're not, you know, they're not like KVY quick, for example, but they are going to be quicker than our fullbacks. And that's going to hurt us, especially if they get in the channels, because all four of that back four are slow. Wilson's actually the fastest, I would say.
Probably,
David Aston, Chambers needs a text to tell him to get moving before the attack starts.
That's a good one. I like that.
Classic one.
WhatsApp notifications.
Can we get Edwards back to start our season form, Kally? Because if we can unlock something special with him. I think he's a good player. Is he a consistent player, do you think? As in, like, he needs to hit form and then keep playing? Because he's had injuries that have disrupted him.
But he's had the injuries, but I'd argue since he's been back, he's been given his opportunities. He's played quite a lot of football anyway. I'm convinced more and more that earlier was in the season was a purple patch. Even if you just watch Edwards play, watch Edwards for the 45. So when we're watching the game now, watch him play. He's gone back. So before, when at the beginning of the season, especially the Liverpool game, Blackpool game, he was there, head up, looking around. He was actually was looking up and looking for that pass. Yeah. Now he spends more time looking at his boots than he does anything else. And it's like, you know, okay, there's only so long you can be looking down. And when you're looking down like that all the time, you're not, you know, all this stuff going over there. You don't know when to release it. Don't know who wants what. I just think that was a purple patch. I think this is the Guion Edwards that, you know, is our player. He's had that purple patch at the beginning. Yeah, purple patch at the beginning of the season. Apart from that, what else has he done? His debut against Blackburn, great game. In the Championship,
I was slightly different on Edwards. Not too far different, I would say. But I think ultimately, like he's quite an orthodox winger, isn't he? He likes to go down the outside of people, gets that byline, win a corner, throw in, free kick, dare I say it, penalty, that kind of thing. Make your fullback work. He's fast, knock it past you and go kind of guy. The thing is that he was doing that when he was at right back. He probably played some of his better attacking football when he was at right back. He just can't defend. But there again, we haven't had a right back who can defend for, I don't know, 10 years.
This is why I think he works well, or it's better for the team if him and Chambers are together, because he will, you know, the rest of our wingers, whenever they come in, he's probably the one that does track back quite a bit. Now his defending's a bit shoddy anyway, and his tackling's probably as good as themselves, right? So not very good anyway. But he does that kind of, you know, the so-called, you know, the dirty part of the game or the rough part of the game that no one likes doing. So I don't know. It'll just be interesting. I mean, if we had the time when he was a younger player, because what is he, about 27, 28? If he was, say, 3-4 years younger, maybe 5 years younger, you'd be like, actually, we could probably develop this guy back into a wing back, into a, you know, and then maybe look at a 3-5-2 formation or something, and you know that's someone who can play. Yeah,
I really do. I thought he did well. Did well there last year when the previous manager, we won't say his name, played him there. You know, because it is becoming a drinking game. say the word, so say that surname, and you got to down a shot. People would be paralytic.
Didn't he play for Celtic, Ryan? Is that the same guy?
Big clubs, yeah, real big
No,
clubs.
the last manager to take charge of our team
was Matt Gill. Oh, fuck off with the Matt Gill narrative, will you, man? I swear to God, I love Matt Gill, but you are turning me off, the man. Matt Gill did it. You know that Simpsons did it. Matt Gill did it.
Matt Gill did it.
Yeah.
Norwood, best striker at the football club, Kally.
Not much of an achievement, is it? I think he'll have better days in his front room.
I was going to say, who have we got? Let's be fair. Best
Neil
striker
Moles is third choice.
More positive.
Best probably lone striker. Yeah, like I think it's been. You know, I'm a massive Jackson fan. I rate Jackson, but I think
Michael.
Michael Jackson. He's bad. Well, no, I do think Jackson is bad. You know, he's bad. He's got the thriller in him.
That's a pun right there.
Is he a smooth criminal?
There you go.
Yeah, but the thing is with Jackson, if you think about last year and you remember the time that he scored all those 16 goals or whatever, then no, he works well with someone up front. But as a lone striker, Norwood's probably the best option. But he'll have 20 chances and he'll score 2 goals. That's my issue with Norwood. Is like if he just got, you know, shots on target to goal ratio, if that was improved a lot better, then you're like, okay, you know, you'd be the main man. But there's no one else challenging to play out and out up top by himself. Who else have you got on there? I mean, you ain't even got your man Drinnan.
No,
where's Drinnan?
Or Hawkins.
Right.
The thing is, since he's come to the club, he's been the only one that's even shown a hint of consistency in performance, hasn't he? He's been out injured half the time, and he's still number 1.
That's the way you makes you feel.
So we need to stop this now. Actually, Kally, I think Kally made a good point in there because he was saying. Sorry. I think Martin made a good point there. Sorry, Kally, mate. You were making a point about where does Bennett end up, where does Edwards end up as players. And I think this is their window to shine, isn't it? They always go back to you. Do you remember when that last couple of weeks or months of Grant Ledbetter being at the club, right? Obviously did nothing for us for years, well documented his set pieces, let's not go into it. But the last couple of months, mate, he was banging his shots from 30 yards, running the game, captain's performances, standing ovations, everything. Who's this guy? We should have bought him for some money. Oh, wait, we did. And then all of a sudden he earns a decent contract at Middlesbrough, higher up in the league than us. He performed in that last couple of weeks, months, earned himself a better deal, or at least the same deal. So at the end of the day, that's what these players like Edwards, like all these ones that are out of contract. This is their window to do it. If they don't do it now, they're either going to end up at Ipswich on reduced terms or somewhere worse off on less money, frankly.
Yeah, you're like Norwich. Tom James, MJ jokes never landed it with me. Very good. Right, 2 minutes 2. Bold prediction time. Who wants to go first? Chat. Get your bold predictions in. And I want them bold. I don't want 1-1 draws. 1-1 draws can get in the bin. Kally, kick us off. Bold prediction, please, my man.
Got bold. Let's go 3-1 Town.
3-1 Town. Love it. What, a Norwood hat-trick?
I didn't say that.
No.
I'm not that stupid. I think Norwood will get 1. The day he gets more than 1 goal will be interesting.
Is that the day you do a show with your hat off?
I don't know about a full show. Let's wait till April 10th and get a trim first. And then, maybe. Wilson, Judge, and Norwood.
Okay. Rob?
I'm not really a fan of these bold predictions. I quite fancy just for a 1-0. Bit boring, but I don't know. I think Portsmouth,
that is a bold prediction for that back four.
Yeah, it's true. No, Portsmouth are obviously a bit low on confidence. I know they've got the new manager, but we've seen that doesn't guarantee anything. First game, we were as bad as ever.
No,
if not worse. So I think if they go behind, if we were to score early, like everyone seems to do to us these days, first half, let's say, I do think they will freeze a little bit, and I do think that they might struggle to come back in the same way that we have done many times and gone behind. So I think I'm going for 1-0 to us, but
Andrew Foreman,
I think 1-0 either way.
Andrew Foreman got the bold prediction bit. 4-4. That is a very bold prediction. Rob's gone 2-0. 2-1, sorry. OJW 24-0. Norwood hat-trick. Ashley Bell, I can get that out. Ashley Bell 4-0. Right, we're done. We're dusted. We're back at half-time. Join us then, and of course, at full-time, the only matchday show to give you, the fans, your say. despite what we often read on social media or forums. But you can have your say at full time. We will see you then.